Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Sarvar.English. Today, we are starting something exciting together. We are starting a 12-week English challenge. For the next 2 weeks, I will post one new podcast episode every day. Each episode will be published at the same time, and each one will be around 12 to 15 minutes long. Your job is simple. Listen to the podcast, repeat the sentences, and try to learn useful words and phrases. You do not need to study for hours. You do not need to understand every single word. You only need to listen, practice, and come back again the next day. If you are ready to join the challenge, write yes. I'm in the comments section. Writing this sentence is a small action, but it is important. It means you are making a promise to yourself. You are saying for the next 14 days I will make time for my English. So write, yes, I'm in. And let us begin this journey together. Now, there is something important that I want you to do before we start. Choose a time that is good for you. You can listen in the morning after breakfast. You can listen during your lunch break. You can listen after work, while you are walking, or before you go to bed. The exact time is not important. However, it is important to listen at the same time every single day. One of the best ways to develop a good habit is to connect it to a regular time or activity. For example, you may decide to listen after your morning coffee. You may listen while you travel to work. Choose a time that fits your life. Do not choose a time when you are usually busy or tired. Choose a time you can relax and pay attention for 12 minutes. You can also set an alarm on your phone. Give the alarm a simple name, such as Time for English or English Challenge or 12 minutes of English. When the alarm rings, try not to say, "Oh, it later." Later can easily become tomorrow, and tomorrow can easily become next week. Instead, press play and begin. Remember, the episode is only around 12 minutes long. I am keeping each episode short because I want you to feel motivated enough to start and continue until the end. Sometimes when you see a 1-hour lesson, you think, I don't have enough time. But 12 minutes feels possible. 12 minutes is shorter than any coffee breaks. It is shorter than one episode of a television program. Many people spend more than 12 minutes checking social media without even noticing the time. So you can definitely find 12 minutes for your English, for your future. You do not have to change your whole life. Now you may ask, how can 14 days really help my English? That is a good question. 14 days will not make you completely fluent. You will not suddenly understand every film, every song, or every native speaker, but these 14 days can help you begin something much more important. They can help you build consistency. Consistency means doing something every single day, regularly, even when you do not feel excited or highly motivated. Many learners wait for motivation. They study when they feel energetic, but they stop when they feel tired or busy. This creates a difficult pattern. They study for 3 hours on Sunday, but then they do nothing for the next 5 days. They learn 20 new words, but they forget them because they never use them again. Real progress usually comes from small actions that we repeat regularly. 12 minutes every day can be more useful than 2 hours once a month because your brain needs regular contact with English. Your brain loves repetition. Your brain loves repetition. During this challenge, you will hear English every day. You will hear natural sentences, useful expressions, and common vocabulary. Some phrases may be new. Some may already be familiar. Familiar means you have heard or seen them before. When you hear a familiar phrase again, do not think, I already know this. Ask yourself, can I use it naturally? Knowing a phrase and using a phrase are not the same thing. You may know a phrase, but you may not be able to use it. For example, perhaps you know the expression, that sounds good. You understand it when you hear it. But do you use it when someone gives you an idea? If a friend says, let's meet at 6, can you quickly answer, that sounds good? So, this challenge is not just about understanding English. It is about making useful English easier to remember and easier to say. That is why repetition is important. When you hear a useful sentence, repeat it aloud. Do not only repeat it inside your head. Use your voice. For example, listen to the sentence. I'm trying to build a better habit. I'm trying to build a better habit. Good. Here is another one. I'm going to practice every day. Now repeat. Good. I'm going to practice every day. Speaking aloud helps your mouth become familiar with English sounds. It also helps your brain remember the sentence as a complete piece of language. In this challenge, do not worry if your pronunciation is not perfect. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is practice. You only need practice. In fact, during these 14 days, you may make many mistakes. I want you to make mistakes. That is completely normal. Mistakes are not a sign that you are failing. They are a sign that you are trying. You need to use the language even when you are not completely sure. During each podcast, try to notice useful words and phrases. You do not have to write down everything. Choose 3, 4, or 5 useful expressions from each episode. For example, from today's episode, you may choose to build a habit, to make time for something, to stay consistent, to keep going, to fit something into your day. Let's look at these phrases. To build a habit means to develop a regular action. Ask yourself, can I use it? You could say, I want to build a habit of reading in English. Here is the next one. To make time for something means to find time for an activity even when you are busy. You could say, I'm busy, but I make time for English every day. To stay consistent means to continue doing something regularly. You could say, the most important thing is to stay consistent. Here is the next one. To keep going means to continue and not stop. You could say, this lesson is difficult, but I'm going to keep going. And to fit something into your day means to find a suitable time for it. You could say, I can fit a short English lesson into my day. Now, there may be a day during this challenge when you do not feel like listening. Perhaps you will be tired. Perhaps you will have a lot of work. Perhaps you will feel that you are not improving. This is the moment when the challenge becomes most useful. A habit does not become strong on the easy days. It becomes strong on the difficult days. On an easy day, you may feel excited to study. You may have plenty of time and energy. But on a difficult day, you learn to say, I'm tired, but I can still do 12 minutes. This does not mean that you should force yourself when you are ill or truly need to rest. It simply means that you should not allow a small feeling of laziness to control your decision. Okay, so today is day 1 of our 14-day challenge. You have already taken the first step, and the first step is often the most difficult one. Now go to the comments section and write yes, I'm in. Choose your daily listening time and set an alarm on your phone. Then come back tomorrow at the same time for the next episode. Remember, 12 minutes may feel small, but small actions repeated every day can create meaningful challenge. Keep listening, keep repeating, and keep learning. I'm Tom, and this is Sarvar English. I am so proud to have you in this challenge. I will speak to you tomorrow for day 2.